This is a witch's hut. I mean, most players would probably know already by how it looks, but it's going to change.
Now it's the big moment. Let's talk to Agnes about the next update.
The next update is called the Wild Update.
Let's actually look at some of the new things that we have in it right now, which is the ancient cities.
That's awesome. I can't wait. Oh, wow. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things coming to the swamp. So what are we getting?
So to give a bit of insight on how this will change Minecraft, I've revamped the witch's hut. So in this build, I went for more of a fantasy / realistic type build because I rarely build in fantasy, and I think this idea and this concept would actually help me exercise my building strategies and how I build and what's my building style, and I want to expand to different genres. So I continued by building this dock so that the witch can go anywhere she wants, and I added this weird looking second floor, which is actually the most defining feature of having a fantasy type home, to me anyway. It looks lovely from this perspective, and I also use oak logs just to make it a bit more realistic with the amount of materials that is surrounding us. Now I get it that it has spruce and there's no spruce nearby because we're in a swamp. However, I decided to go with the traditional look of the witch's hut, trying to preserve the colors in the color palette, but trying to also make it a bit more like fantasy. This is the completed house. Now, this house is more likely something that you would probably build for a starter base. However, I think it's a really lovely house when it comes to witches' huts. And yes, I don't think it's mostly like a hut. It's more like a house. But I did the interior of this house, and I think it will actually suit the theme of a witch's hut. Coming inside here, we are introduced straight away into this archway. How did you get up there? How did you get up there? Okay, never mind. But coming up right up here, we enter the more farm / brewing more areas. I added a lot of storage, as you can see, through the use of barrels and barrels over here. But I also used a loft for a bed because it was tight. It is very, very tight in here. I couldn't add much because, you see, there's only this desk that I have, and then you've got these two plants, and then you've got the nether wart, and then you've got the mushrooms. And up here, I used soul lanterns instead of the usual lanterns. And they actually emit a very good, like, I guess, more fantasy vibe. Now, out on the dock, this looks so beautiful. It's not supposed to be practical for the witch, but it can be practical for you if you ever go boating and then find it, so you can actually find the witch's hut within the middle of the water. So you have this dock, so you can place your boat here and then go inside through here. We have a little farm. The wizard or the witch is like banned from the village from my perspective of Minecraft's theory. So making the witch have their own little farm would actually be significantly more reasonable and realistic, considering that, hey, they're banned from the villages and they're banned from trading, and the wandering traders won't likely trade with me because they're so scary because they use loads of magic. Now for the landscaping, I didn't do actually much landscaping. I just dotted around a lot of nether warts and nether roots and all this crimson fungus stuff, and I also bone made the place just to add a bit of natural aspects toward this place. But yeah, that's all I have for today's episode. But if you guys really liked it, please feel free to subscribe. It doesn't hurt you, it doesn't hurt me, so why not?